What's up, guys? Alright, so welcome back to another Spanish lesson. So today, this is technically a 2-in-1 lesson because both of these things go hand in hand. Because with the lesson that I'm going to be talking about here. So what these two things are sequence words and reflexive verbs. But the main lesson is going to be on reflexive verbs. But the sequent words kind of go with it. So like I said, it's quote unquote technically 2-in-1 because these things go hand in hand with each other. So yeah, but the main focus on today's lesson is going to be the reflexive verbs. But before we get into it, I just have to say, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure you do that because I'm trying to reach my goal of 5,000 subscribers. I've been gaining subscribers like really fast. Like I don't know what it is, but you know, come on, guys. I gotta reach 5K over here, and once I reach 5K, I'll be halfway to 10K, which is gonna be my ultimate goal. So help me reach 5K, so I'll be halfway to 10K. All right. Now let's get into the lesson. Now, before I show you, ignore the noise in the background if you hear something. Now, before I show you the reflexive verbs, I'm going to show you the sequence words first so you guys know what they are. Okay, here we are. Palabras de secuencia, which means sequence words. Okay, so we have antes, which means before. But if you want to, you can use antes de. So you have two options. You can either use antes or antes de. They both mean the same thing. They both mean before. Alright, después. That means afterwards. Después de. That means after. Now, I want you guys to know something. Antes and antes de mean the same thing. They both mean before. But después and después de, they don't mean after. They mean two different things. Después means afterwards, and después de means after. So yeah, make sure to remember that. Alright, now let's move on. Durante, which means during. Entonces, I hope I said that correctly, which means then. But there's also another way to say then in Spanish. You can either say entonces, or you can also say luego, which means then also. Más tarde. There you go. That means later on. Like later on in the afternoon. And finally, you can say por último. You can either say that, or you can say finale. They both mean the same thing. Okay, so that was the sequence verbs. Sequence words. Make sure to remember those because these are going to go very handy with your reflexive verbs that I'm going to teach you right now. All right, guys, hold up. Give me a minute. Let me just pull it up here real quick. So yeah. Hold on, guys. I'm just pulling it up right now so you guys can see. My computer is super slow sometimes, so just give me a minute. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Reflexive verbs. A reflexive verb is used to indicate that the subject does something to or for himself or herself. In other words, it reflects the action of the verb back to the subject. Reflexive verbs always use reflexive pronouns. Okay, so here's an example of a reflexive verb. Subject is Joaquin, and here's the reflexive verb. Se ducha por la mañana. Joaquin is taking a shower tomorrow. Who is taking a shower? Joaquin is. So the reflexive verb is reflecting back to him since he's the subject. Okay, now let's move on to slide number 2. Okay, reflexive verbs. Okay, so here are the conjugations. Now the conjugations for these are a little bit different. These are called reflexive pronouns. Okay. Okay, so yo. Okay, so yo, me, tú, te, ustedes, se, él, ella, se, nosotros, sos. Oh, wait, what? What? No. Nosotros, nos, ustedes, se, and ellos and ellas, se. Okay, now here's an example. The verb. Okay, so the verb lavar, to wash oneself. Now if I want to say I wash, I say me lavo. If I want to say you wash, I say te lavas, se lava, se lava. Nos lavamos, se lavan, you know? Alright, so those are the conjugations for that. Okay, now this is very important. Reflexive verbs. The pronoun se attached to the infinitive identifies the verb as reflexive. Lavarse. Guys, make sure you remember that. Make sure you remember that. If the pronoun se is attached to at the end of a verb, that means it's reflexive. Lavarse. Okay. When a reflexive verb is conjugated, the reflexive pronoun agrees with the subject. Here's an example. Me afeito, if I said that correctly. ¿Por qué siempre te pones mis cosas? Here's another example. Te despiertas a las 7. No puedas lavarte el pelo con mi shampoo. And shampoo means shampoo in Spanish, in case if everybody's wondering. So when the reflexive verb is conjugated, the reflexive pronoun is going to go with it. That's basically what it's telling you. Moving on. Reflexive verbs. Like object pronouns, reflexive pronouns generally appear before a conjugated verb. With infinitives and present participles, I think I said that correctly. They may be placed before the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive or present participle. Here's an example. Ellos se van a vestir. Ellos van a vestirse. They are going to get dressed. Here's another example. Nos estamos lavando las manos. Estamos lavándonos las manos. We are washing our hands. Okay? Okay. Attention. When a reflexive pronoun is attached to a present participle, an accent mark is added to maintain the original stress. Okay, here's an example. Bañando. Bañándose. Durmiéndose. Remember this, guys. Remember that, okay? Okay, now here's a list of all the reflexive verbs that are mostly common. Alright, so here's a list acordarse, acostarse, afeitarse, bañarse. You know, these are all reflexive verbs and what they mean. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time to read over this list, but you can also screenshot it if you need to read it. All right, now let me scroll down here. Unlike English, a number of verbs in Spanish can be reflexive or non-reflexive. If the verb acts upon the subject, the reflexive form is used. If the verb acts upon something other than the subject, the non-reflexive form is used. Compare these sentences. Lola lava los platos. Patricia se lava la cara. As the preceding sentences below, reflexive verbs sometimes have different meanings than their non-reflexive counterparts. For example, lavar means to wash, while lavarse means to wash oneself, to get washed, or to wash up. So remember that, guys. All right, attention again. Unlike in English, in Spanish, parts of the body or clothing are referred to with articles, not possessives. Let me give you two examples of this. La niña se quitó un zapato. The little girl took off one of her shoes. Necesito cepillarme los dientes. I need to brush my teeth. Now let me tell you something about these two sentences. These two sentences right here. Okay, so say you took out the word se, and it's la niña quitó un zapato. The little girl took off a shoe. You're not going to know where she took it off. She can take it off a shelf. She can take it off a shelf in the closet. She can take it off a clothes hanger. Although I don't know why a shoe would be... Although I'm not too sure why a shoe would be on a clothes hanger. But when you add the pronoun se, it's the little girl took off one of her shoes. So you gotta be specific now. So if you gotta be specific about what you're saying, because if you say the little girl took off a shoe, people are gonna be like, huh? What? Okay, I know she took off a shoe, but where did she take it off? It can be a shelf, it can be a table, it can be anything. But when you say la niña se quitó un zapato, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, she took off one of her shoes. Her shoes. So like I said, be specific. All right, now let's go to the next one. Necesito cepillarme los dientes. I need to brush my teeth. Now let me tell you something. If you take out the pronoun me, and if you just say necesito cepillar los dientes, that's gonna mean I need to brush the teeth. Well, what teeth? That's why you gotta be specific. If you add me to it, it's gonna be necesito cepillarme los dientes. That means, oh, okay, I need to brush my teeth. So be specific. Specific is key here, guys. When you're learning verbs, you gotta be specific. Oh, and also another thing, you cannot use the reflexive pronoun twice. You can only use it once. You can either use it before the conjugated verb or after the actual verb itself. What I mean by that, Okay, so okay, so okay, so okay, so say I was using this sentence, right? Necesito cepillarme los dientes. That's my sentence. I'm putting my reflexive pronoun after the actual verb. But if I were to do this, yo me neces yo me necesito cepillar los dientes. That's me putting the reflexive pronoun before the conjugated verb. But never do this. Never do this what I'm about to tell you right now. Me necesito cepillarme los dientes. See how I use the reflexive pronoun twice? You can't do that. You can either put it before the conjugated verb or attach it to the verb itself. You can't use it twice. You can only use it once or the other. So make sure to remember that. Okay, guys, last slide. All right, reflexive verbs. So these are just sentences. Now I'm going to test you guys. I'm going to test you on something. Try to answer these sentences right here. Okay, number 1. Okay, so it gives you the number 1 for you. Mis hermanos se despiertan tarde. Actually, you know what? Forget the sentences, that's going to be like way too hard. So, actually just forget that. But if you were taking a quiz, these were these are the questions that you will be getting. So that's pretty much the reflexive verbs, and that's all I got to teach you guys. So let me go back to the conjugations again. So you guys can know what they are. Let me see. Where are they at? Come on, bro. Oh, here they are. Okay. Yo me, tú te, ustedes se. Wait, no. Yo me, tú te, él, ella se, nosotros, nos, ustedes se, ellos and ellas se. And with a reflexive verb, you can either attach it before. The reflexive pronoun, you can either attach it before the conjugated verb or attach it to the actual verb. But remember, do not use the reflexive pronoun twice in one sentence. You can either use it before the conjugated verb or attach it to the actual verb that has not been conjugated yet. So that's pretty much reflexive verbs. So guys, I know this lesson was a long one. It's like, damn, almost 19 minutes. Wow. So I know this lesson was like a long one, but you guys really, really, really needed to know that. So I will catch you guys next time with another Spanish lesson. So peace out.